I need to take a break.
Yep. All right. Hey, we're live. This is Wednesday, November 27th, the day before Thanksgiving. Want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Lisa, for being here. And Larry's here. It'll probably be short, but let's go for it. Take it away, sir. Larry, go ahead.
Okay, folks, welcome. Today, I think we need to dedicate a couple of times a year. We need to dedicate this program to the season. Tomorrow will be Thanksgiving. And I know we face tremendous peril. I know we do. But all in all, for everybody listening to me right now, most of us have enjoyed a life of more freedom than anyone else in the world. We have. And for that, we should never fail to say thanks. You know, I'm not big into getting religion-y. Y'all know that. I'm not a good spokesperson for God. But even I recognize it's but for the grace of God that we're here today. It's but for the grace of God that we've got a chance to save this country He's given us. We've got to engage. We've got to try. We've got to try. I want to personally thank everybody that has listened to the program and have been here all along, and those newcomers, people that have come. And I especially want to thank all of you that have contributed, all of you. Yesterday was a very traumatic day, health-wise. It got real bad. And I certainly want to thank Alan and Karen because they saved me. Today, even though I'm giving thanks for all that has come and all of you that have been a part, I must ask again for someone to hit PayPal right away with $500 to $600 if you can, or maybe 6 people at 100. It matters not how we get there, but we got to get there. I'm in kind of a bad situation. As far as the news of the day, one of the things that the administration is trying to work out is what is going on with Nadler. As you know, they're moving the impeachment hearing to the Judicial Committee, which is Nadler. Nadler is floating some trial balloons, saying things such as, you know, he's going to invite President Trump's attorneys to participate. I have a feeling, as does the administration, that this is being done to set the administration up. I believe Nadler's hearing is going to be just as rigged in some way, maybe in the same way as Schiff's, but maybe in another way, but it's going to be rigged, folks. We're highly concerned about what tricks they've got planned for that hearing. Now, the reason I can say that is because the Nadler hearing is where the fat gets cut from the hog. He cannot, under pretense even of law, go forward with a recommendation out of that impeachment trial, although President Trump wants it, he does not have the basis to come out of that hearing if all he has is what appeared before Schiff's committee. As I told you yesterday, and as I try to tell you every day, the truth of the Schiff hearing is that there is nothing that they have had. They have brought forth nothing with a crime in it. Not one witness would even be allowed in the Senate trial if the Senate trial follows the rule of law. Rosie Husband. You follow me?
Say it again. Say it again, Larry. All we hear is your sweet Rosie.
I know somebody she's telling me about it, but they're gone. That's her job to tell me when somebody comes, and she gets scared, as do I. But anyway, so there is nothing in Schiff's witnesses that would prevail in a court of law. So if Nadler is to conduct his hearing more in line with that of a court environment, I just got 100 from Mark. Mark, thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. If Nadler is to conduct his hearing anywhere near the rules of the court of law of jurisprudence, none of those witnesses will be able to testify. None. Well, Soundman. But I need to remind you, Soundman's bottom line, the only part of his testimony that could be considered that would influence the outcome of a true court would be when he actually talked to the president, and the president told him no quid pro quo. So you see the dilemma that Nadler's in, unless he has some trick shot similar to Schiff. And it's very important that we find out, hopefully ahead of time, what his trick's going to be. Now, one of the things they plan to do with his hearing, I assure you, is to try to take some of the spotlight off of the IG report dropping. Probably the biggest task of the Nadler hearing is to deflect some of the IG report. But I don't believe that'll work. But when I say it won't work, I got to tell you again, this is what's so miserable about this situation. You may have trouble reading. What is so terrible about it is that those people that watch CNN and MSNBC and the other mainstream media, they're going to interpret the IG report to make it look like it is nothing or bad for Trump. If you watch Fox, listen to this program or other programs that deal with it hopefully more fairly and honestly, you're going to find that the IG report is incredibly damning and sets forth the stage for indictments and grand juries to be impaneled. That's where we're going to be. But they're still going to use Nadler's committee to try to take our soft base and confuse it. So be ready for that. Now, Mark has sent 100 votes. I need 5 more of you, please. You can probably hear in my breathing I'm having a little bit of trouble, so it's really quite important, please. Now, I want to go and deviate from the normal program. I want want you to ask questions. You're certainly, it's offered to you to ask any question you choose to ask. Looking at a text I got, just a second, folks. I'm sorry. I couldn't see it. So you're free to ask any question you want, but also I would like to offer the opportunity for any of you in the audience, if you would like, to send us a message for the group, a Thanksgiving message for the group, if you would like. So please get those in, if you will.
Okay, I've got one question for you, and we've had several people wishing the group happy Thanksgiving. April's here as well. Somebody called me this morning. I talked to them, and they were talking about Chelsea Manning, the transgender, who apparently was one of the ones that had given a lot of information to Assange, and has been arrested again, and the judge is throwing the book at him, her, and I got to think a minute what the rest of it was. Basically planning to throw the book at him or her unless Chelsea comes forward with information against Trump to be part of this fiasco, which he has said that he has too much integrity to be part of.
Once again, Mary Ellen, I'm going to call that more of the goofy, dangerous internet garbage that's out there, folks. That's not true. Now, how can I say that's not true when I don't know anything about it other than I heard it just as you did from Mary Ellen? You're not going to do it. A judge would not do it that way. That is not, number one, the judge in making such a statement would absolutely destroy any prosecution's case against her. It's already ruined if that's the case. The case is thrown out immediately. So I don't believe that happened, Mary Ellen, and whoever told you that, you need to tell them that probably did not happen for real.
Okay.
Now here again, you've got to understand law. You got to understand what a judge can do in a trial. Judge got a lot of freedom. He can do a lot of things, but he cannot do that. That is just open grounds to have the trial set aside. Open grounds.
Okay. Mimi asked, let's see, we've got bless you, Larry. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Blessed Thanksgiving. Mimi asked, isn't Nadler, a New Yorker, even a little afraid of Trump? What about Schumer? Trump once thought he was a friend.
Well, Nadler is a New Yorker. But as long as he is a member of the Democratic Party, as with Chucky Schumer, they're not going to be afraid of the president, not in today's environment. There's nothing really that the president can do to Nadler or to Schumer, on the private citizen side, and then in the governmental side, of course, there's nothing to do to the separation of powers. No, they're not afraid. As a matter of fact, to all of you, I have never seen the boldness, the outright bold way the Democrats have just taken the Constitution, held it up in our face, tore it apart, and threw it in our face. I've never seen this before. Never. And does that mean back in Washington's time, Lincoln's time, maybe there were these types of things? I know in those days, by the way, the media was polarized. In those days, it was not uncommon for one publication to be totally in the camp of one person and hate the other. So there was polarization, but we thought we had outgrown that. We thought we had reached a point where we truly have a free press and an honest press. But even that's gone today. What else, man?
Paul asks, why is an impeachment process so damaging to the country?
Because it ties up several things. Number one, Paul, it shuts down the House, ere to then the Senate, from doing the business of the people. It totally stops all work by the Senate and the House. Now, should they be able to do that, do their normal business and the impeachment as well? Maybe they should, but they can't and they won't. Number two, it's phenomenally damning to our international relationships because there's no foreign country, no leader of foreign countries who now can allow himself to enter into any kind of negotiation, relationship, deal, commitment with the President of the United States, as long as there is a cast of doubt as to whether he'll be still the President and be able to live up to it. Then we have the problem, thanks to Schiff and the boys and girls having to do with the phone call. Now you're going to have foreign leaders who are going to be extremely apprehensive from even having phone calls with the President because now they know that they're all listened to and monitored, which they probably assumed anyway, but now they know it, and they know it's not sacred, that it can be put out to the public. So it does extreme damage, Paul, to this country. Phenomenal damage. Not to mention the fact that it further divides us into two distinct groups. We are just about to the point, folks, I'm telling you, we are getting ever closer to the pre-Civil War days. Pre-Civil War. And for any of us that wondered, as I did, how could families be torn apart? How could brother be against brother, father against son? How could that happen? Well, I see it today. You see it today. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Politics had better be left off of the Thanksgiving table because it's liable to get tough if it does. There's that much bitterness between the two groups. Remember, united we stand, right? But divided we fall. And Soros, the Progressive Council, and all of the people that want us, China, Russia, you name it, all the people that want us to be destroyed, they're getting their way because we're divided. And every day we seem to get more divided, and an impeachment process simply works to deepen that division. What do you got?
Gloria said this is one of the nicest chat groups ever. I appreciate all the information Larry shares. Happy Thanksgiving to each of you. Jane says, okay, and
I got 90 from Mary. Mary, thank you so much.
She says, have a happy Thanksgiving or have a good Thanksgiving day.
Thank you.
Um,
I don't get to see the chat stuff. I don't know about that, Mary Ellen. I don't know the chatty things that go on. But I believe, barring the fact that I don't see the chatty thing, that you are one of the best groups out there, respectful. And we all, I think, strive to deal in honesty as best we can. At least I know I do. And I hope y'all appreciate it. I hope it means something to you.
Yeah.
That somebody is really trying to keep you informed with the truth, not entertain you.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Paul says the impeachment is just the same person that asked about the impeachment earlier. The impeachment is just a hijacking of the will of the people. What do you think?
Well, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Now, let me say, under the true definition of impeachment, for high crimes, misdemeanors, etc., were there a real crime that has been committed, that has been proven either by a special prosecutor and established, or in the case of Nixon with breaking into the DNC offices or whatever, without a crime, using it to search to find a crime is about as bad a thing as you can do to this nation. Just about as bad. So you're right, Paul.
And Mimi follows up with the about the phone call. She said, "Why are so many people able to listen to the president's call?"
Well, part of that comes, you have to understand, when the president is speaking to a foreign leader, the first thing that happens is there is an announcement of what the subject matter is going to be. So he was talking to the president of Ukraine. And so generally they try to set a protocol, what's going to be talked about. If it's in the area of military, or if it's in the area of economic aid for humanitarian purposes or whatever, that group will have somebody on the phone, unless the phone call is deemed to be exclusive. Exclusive means just president to president and nobody else. But this was a call of state. A call of state. And when that happens, the president has to have an interpreter. And then you have to have two other interpreters. Sometimes there's four, which I think was what happened in this case. There are four interpreters, so that they can compare and make sure that they're not recording the conversation. That's not allowed. So the interpreters have to be careful that they get everything right. So they have four people so that they can cross-check with each other to make sure they do transcribe it properly. Then you will have the representatives from whatever protocol is called on. So if it's military aid, then the military will be expected to have a representative there to hear. Then you will have someone from the ambassadors group there to hear. So this was a call of state. It is not uncommon, and all sides know that there are people on the call.
Okay, Mimi said yesterday, you said Pelosi is in danger of being removed from the speakership. There has to be some old timers like Steny Hoyer waiting in line, but they're going to let AOC take it?
Well, the problem with AOC, so that y'all know, is kind of what we're running into the 2020 election. The old timers, I include us in this example as old timers. The next election, there are going to be less of us old timers, more millennials types, younger types. But the same thing is going on in Congress. Pelosi's problem is that there are a number now of first-term Democrat congressmen, the young crowd. And every day there's less of the old guard there. So that's why she's concerned. She's concerned that AOC controls this, what's called a caucus, a group of young representatives. And then because of the way the media spins everything, a lot of the old guys that want to keep their job, they're scared to death. If they go against AOC, they're afraid they're going to lose their seat. And I'll tell you why. AOC has made it clear that any Democrat that goes against what she's pushing, which would include, by the way, getting rid of Pelosi as Speaker, they're going to run and have the funds to run somebody against them in the primary. And as I've always told you, what is the only thing the politicians care about?
Their job.
Job. That's right. So she's holding over them that they can lose their job if they go against her. And Pelosi knows this. That's why Pelosi went so far as she did with Schiff. But Schiff lied to her. And she knows it now. And she's mad at Schiff. But she had to go with Schiff because that's what AOC and the squad and all of the young ones wanted.
Mm.
Now, I might tell y'all, this is my opinion. My opinion. At this point in races for the presidency, the smallest group of left-wingers, the real nutbags, they have a lot of power and influence. That does not mean the whole Democratic Party or the whole left of the population is as far left as the AOCs and the nutbags. Just right now, they're the ones being heard. It always happens this way. And when they get through with the primary, you will see them gravitate back to more of a centrist type structure. Now that's normal. This year may not be normal because of AOC, and that's what Pelosi's got to wonder. Is this the same as always? Or is there a whole new way of thinking, doing business? Rosie Hush, baby, in Washington today with the left. We don't know. Pelosi does not know, and I'm calling them, and I want to apologize to Josh and any other young people that I throw into this category of millennials. Pelosi doesn't know how strong this millennial movement is inside her party. She doesn't know, and she's scared of it. What you got?
Chris said, well, I'm going to read you the comments and the questions. Chris says, when we thank God for what we do have, he'll give us what we don't have. Philippians 4 says, pray with thanks and peace will guard you. No matter your situation, give thanks and peace will follow. Mark says, why hasn't POTUS pardoned or signaled about Julian Assange? Dr. Steve Piesnick reveals he helped the Trump campaign by dumping on Hillary, the DNC, Podesta, satanic worship, Haiti, and more. So why isn't something being done for Assange?
You're going to have to slow down and tell me that again.
Okay, Mark thinks Assange is a hero, and so he should be pardoned because of all the help he gave to the Trump campaign by dumping on Hillary, the DNC, Podesta, and so on.
Well, let me stop you there. Mark, I am of mixed mind when it comes to Julian Assange. On one side, there is the problem of him tapping in to our government system, as apparently he did. I don't know that he did, but apparently he did. And making it public. That may have done damage to our country. I don't know, but it may have. That's scary. That's risky. That's dangerous. But then on the other side, you're exactly right. Had it not been for him, there's a good chance we would be under Hillary Clinton today. We would be a socialist country today had it not been for him. But I don't think President Trump would be in a position right now to pardon Assange. I just don't think he would be. I think it could be detrimental. Right now, Mark, all of you, remember time. We have enough trouble with President Trump doing what he does, just normally being himself. This is not a time when we should ask of the president to make a move that could be controversial within his soft base or his base at all. So even if he is entertaining at some point pardoning his sides, this is not the time to do it. Wait until he gets clear this election cycle. And I do not know if he plans to do it. I'm just telling you, if he does, he better hold his fire until after the election. What else?
Mimi's noticing a common thread: Obama and Muslims, Brennan and Muslims, AOC handled by Muslims, and many more.
This is a common thread that Mary Ellen, you and I have talked about back when Obama was president. It was very apparent that he has an affection for Islam more than just being respectful of another faith. And remember what his preacher, what's his name, Jerry Wright or whatever, Reverend Wright, remember what he said when he was asked point blank, was Obama a Christian? And this is a man that had been in his church for 16 years. And he answered he couldn't say. He didn't know. What else?
Would Pelosi be, this Mimi's asking, would Pelosi be the first speaker to be removed?
No. Newt Gingrich was. After Newt, well, the next guy, I can't remember his name, from Louisiana, he was removed before he ever got it. So no, it's not. Jim Wright was removed. So no, she's not the first.
Okay. Gloria thinks
By
that,
the way, we're still short 4 people or $400. Please help. Please help. It's desperate. Very serious. And once again, if you're listening and you would like to make a Thanksgiving statement to the group, please do. You're welcome to do it. Mary Ellen will get to it as it rolls up.
yep,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mary Ellen.
sure. Larry's PayPal is nicholslive@aol.com. His PayPal account, nicholslive@aol.com. Gloria said Schiff is making the whole Democratic Party look bad. And Joseph says, we don't see anything besides Tulsi Gabbard standing up, but isn't she CFR?
You know, I've heard that she is. I can't tell y'all with guaranteed proof that she is. I don't have that information that I can say. I will say I have heard that for a long, long time. But I can't prove it. And if I can't prove it, it's not right for me to make the assertion.
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Yeah. April asks who all is suing CNN and who all will be exposed.
Well, the administration is suing CNN, the president. Devin Nunes is suing CNN. You're not supposed to know this, but Rudy Giuliani is suing CNN. It just hasn't been made public yet. And then, you know, the young man that was, his name is Sandman, the kid that, you know, the guy came up and got in his face and CNN made out like he did all this stuff and you come to find out that he didn't. Those are the ones I know of that are significant.
Yeah, the Sandman, I think, just won his case. And I think CNN appealed.
Well, I didn't know if he won it or he won it. Are you sure?
He was the kid on 4th of July, right?
Well, yeah, but I didn't know they'd have the trial.
Well, you know, who knows what?
I mean, who knows? I mean, somebody write in if you know for a certainty that he did, or Maryland, you know, he did. I'm just saying, I didn't know they had already had the trial.
Well, I saw people rejoicing that hey, he had won. He'd been awarded. You know, he sued for 243 million, and he'd been awarded something, and they were saying, "Isn't that great? He's going to be a millionaire."
Mm-hmm.
Li Ping said that
He should be.
Yep. Li Ping just sent you.
Let me tell you the problem he's got. He won in the lower court, but now will go to the appellate court for appeal, and there they will probably vote against him. It will not be resolved probably until and if the Supreme Court hears it.
Yeah. Li Ping just sent you something small through PayPal.
Okay, thank you. I can't see it on my phone, but thank you.
Judicial Watch came out saying they got 736 pages of emails deleted on Hillary's private server. She needs to, yep.
They did. They are going through them for relevancy. I do not know the outcome yet.
Tom asks, in order to be pardoned, don't you have to be tried and convicted?
Yes, you do.
So that would be an issue with Assange, right?
Right. Didn't think of that. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's a good point.
Thanks, Tom.
Something y'all may not know. Let me say this. Something you may not know. A prosecutor, in working with a judge in a court, can give someone a perpetuity waiver from prosecution. They can't. A president cannot give a blanket pardon without a crime. Isn't that crazy? Prosecutors can do it. The president can't.
Okay, Joseph is saying, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'd rather go down fighting than let this continue. Paul said,
and that's an absolute sentiment that I wish for my Thanksgiving wish that all of us would have. All of us. I would rather go down standing up than to be on our knees. We have no reason, guys, no reason at all to bow to socialism or communism. We have no reason to bow to AOC and that ilk. None at all. So don't. I just got 100 from Janet. Janet, thank you. So we're down to just 3. 3 more, please. Thank you, Janet.
Paul asked, do you think that President Trump is just suffering because he's such a threat to the establishment?
Well, that's absolutely true. The president is suffering because, believe it or not, folks, he represents a president that actually represents and stands for the people of this country. That's who he is. Thank you, Betty. Betty said 20.
Oh, thanks, Betty.
Do you understand that, folks? I've told you this over and over. All you got to do is change the name Trump to us. They don't care about Trump. That's not the point. What he represents, what Trump represents, is a day when we, the American people, stand up and claim what is rightfully ours. When we stand up and claim the right to govern ourselves and not be controlled by an elitist group out of Washington. And yes, they hate him because he is the beginning of the end of what we will call the tyrannical deep state that has had hold of us for way too many years. him up and he can complete what he has set out to do, we will have gone a long way in reinstating our Constitution and the country our founding fathers meant us to be. What else?
Okay, somebody said that Sandman just got the right to sue, not that he has won a suit.
Oh, okay.
Kim asked, what do you know about an imam talking about Omar feeding information to Qatar?
Ellen told me about that earlier today. There's two problems I have with that story. Now, here again, this is my opinion. I have not been in that area, being in that area. But Qatar is probably next to Jordan, one of the best allies we have in the region, of course, less Israel, of course. But I don't see them receiving information, intelligence information, and using it in any way to hurt us. Omar, I'm not sure, even is in a position to have access to that type of information. Robert sent in. Thank you, Robert. I got it. So just in short, I don't put much stock in that story. In my opinion, I could be wrong, folks. Just got 20 from Kate, 21 from Kate. I guess you sent Kate 25, but that time fees were taken out. I got 21. Thank you. Thank you so much. What else you got?
How do we fight against all that's happening? How do we fight? How do we fight? What can we do to fight?
Let's be honest, we're doing it. We're doing it. We have a mission. We have a mission which is to hold our soft base in line and come out and vote in November of 2020. That is our mission.
Alan said,
Who do we fight? I guess the thing how to answer that in a short, brief way would be we fight us. We can't fight those people that hate Trump and buy into CNN and MSNBC. We can't fight them. We're not going to change them. You got it? We're not. So the question then would be, who do we fight? We fight ourselves. We fight ourselves to make ourselves tell others of like mind, like we ought to be sure and vote in November, that it's imperative to vote in November. And we realize that anybody that does not vote in November just doesn't vote at all. You did vote. You voted for the Democrat. This is a weird battle, this election season versus others we've had. What else?
Alan says, happy Thanksgiving to all. May the Lord Jesus bless and keep all of you. Cindy sent 10. Sorry, it's not more. Tom says, Tom asks, do you think Trump is the chosen one?
I don't know. I don't know. I can say, I believe God chose him for our time. I believe he's the reason President Trump is president. I believe that. So if you're asking me, is he the chosen one for the situation our country is in today at this time? Yes. Yes. Yes, he is. And thank you, Alan. And by the way, Alan, once again, thanks for yesterday. You were Lifesaver.
Lifesaver.
Whatever.
Lifesaver for sure. Tanya says, Happy Thanksgiving to you. Yes, God chose Trump. It was prophesied. Is it true? Tilly asks, is it true it was discovered that Trump was trying to be poisoned?
No, I have checked on that, and that is not true. That is another one of those stories that was not true. And I have that with good source. I have that. So that is not true.
Okay, thank you. Gloria sent 10, and can anybody else match Cindy and Gloria's 10?
Thank you, Gloria. And send me all of you again.
That's all we've got right now. Jane's been sharing a lot about, oh shoot, I just lost it. Somebody else just chatted. Let me go back up. Jane's last comment, we have to look at the greater picture. God is greater than these evil people, and their times are in his hands. Yes, ma'am. Casey says, thank you both.
I do want to clarify for that. That does not mean what I hear all too often, that we need not do anything, that God will do it. We are supposed to fight.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those that would think it's not necessary because it's in his hands, I believe personally, and I'm no religious scholar, that I don't think that's true. I think we are supposed to do our part.
Back to the question about the poisoning, Trump did not go to Walter Reed on an emergency basis. He had an appointment. Yes, he went in the evening, but he had an appointment, and he also went to visit a young man that came over and was having surgery, and he went to visit him.
Yes. True on all accounts.
So we're getting lots of fake news, folks. So KC says, thank you. Lots of Thanksgiving love to all of you. Julie said, oh, boy, I'm having a hard time scrolling up and down. Give me a second to find back where I was. Oh, sorry. Julie here. I believe if enough other people believe Trump is the one, then Trump is come for such a time as this. Pray God uses him. This could be our last chance. And Kim says we fight back by spreading broadcasts like this one wherever we can. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, I got a bit of good news. I think I got good news from Jason this morning, where he normally gets viewers to his shows. He said between 9,000 and 19,000 views to one of his programs. The one we did yesterday has received 80,000 and still going up. Now, that's great news. I mean, not because of me, but it's just great news that the word is getting out and more people are becoming interested. So, special thanks to Jason for his program allowing me to come on and say what I do. Because folks, that gets to a lot more people than we get to hear. And that's what we've got to do. I didn't think yesterday's program was very interesting. It was kind of this week's kind of a slow week, but it was still exciting news to think that many people were able to hear it, or we care about hearing it. Thank you, Jason. What else?
somebody's asking about Patreon. Somebody's asking about Super Chat. We're looking into everything, but right now it's not possible. If somebody knows how to do it, they need to call me and talk me through it. Jane was saying that she heard that the food tester had been poisoned and went to the hospital, so they thought that's why. But you have verified. Do you know anything about the chef or the?
There's nothing nefarious connected to poisoning at all. Not the cook, the chef, not anything. Nobody.
And no, Trump did not have chest pains either.
Not that I know of, and not that he knew of.
And then somebody was asking if Pence is still going to be the vice president, and he's already announced that.
I will tell you this. Now, this is my opinion, so folks put it in the category of my opinion again. I think a lot of the stuff about him going to the hospital and being sick, that may have been spread as a precursor to the third wave of scandal that they intend to come at the president with. All right? It may very well be that they started that in the interest of setting up the third scandal, which I can tell you only part of it will have to do with the 25th Amendment and his ability to conduct his duties.
Do you know anything about Lisa?
Because there's truly nothing to it for real.
Okay. Lisa Haven said there was an explosion last week in the South China Sea, maybe a nuclear something or other involving a submarine. Do you know anything about that being true?
Do not. But I assure you, in the circles that I'm involved with, had that have happened involving, let me qualify that, involving a submarine or something to that nature, I would know about it. That did not happen. There may have been a massive explosion. I'm not saying there wasn't. But nothing of interest security-wise, national security-wise. Nothing.
Matt sent you 30.
Huh?
Matt sent you 30.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And by the way, anybody that listens to what I just said, I am not disputing Lisa Haven's. I'm just saying there may have been an explosion. I did not know. But it had nothing to do with a submarine or anything with national security.
Yeah. April says there seems to be a parallel between what's happening here with Trump and in Israel with Netanyahu. Could we be affected by their election results?
Well, there's more than a parallel. It's an exact duplication of what is being done to President Trump was done to Benjamin Netanyahu. And in his case, they drug up something on his wife or whatever, but it's the exact same technique, it's the exact same system, and they've used it on him, and they're using it on us with our president right now.
Mm-hmm. Dennis just sent 50.
Thank you so much. See, some of the times folks, they don't ding through on my phone, so I don't see them, so if you can, let us know when you do send something, because I might miss it on the phone and not acknowledge you.
Gloria says, just like Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals, the Democrats just keep hitting hard and don't stop.
They are just about as close following those rules as you could follow.
Field McConnell claims JFK Jr. is alive. Do you know anything about that?
Do not. Don't know about it. And I'm just not give my opinion on it. Because I don't know. I truly don't know.
Mark is wondering if it's,
I'm gonna have to go.
yeah, okay.
Learning pretty hard right now.
Yeah, go Larry.
Folks, please have a happy Thanksgiving and love your family. If need be, in the interest of having a good day on Thanksgiving with the family, it's okay. If it's best for you not to engage in politics, it truly is. Don't get in a shouting match. Don't let people get upset. Not tomorrow.
Okay, thanks, Larry.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And anybody that can help, please do.
Okay.
So, need it. Thank you, Mary Ellen. I'll talk to y'all Friday, I guess.
Okay. All right, thanks. Bye. All right, folks. I saw a couple of the questions that I can answer. Is Epstein still alive? Larry has seen the autopsy, so the answer to that is no. How he died is still being looked at, and Barr is looking into it, and what Barr is putting out is based on his not having the full investigation. It's being investigated. What's Nadler up to? Larry just said that the information about Trump, being sick with chest pains or poisoned was not true. And Larry's wondering if Nadler or somebody, if the Democrats have put this story out because they are planning to use Amendment 25 to say Trump is unfit for office. So this may be fake news they're putting out for that. The president's lawyers are being invited to come and testify before Nadler, and the administration's very worried that's a trap. And Mark, sticking to the poison story, of course, is going to benefit the use of the 25th Amendment next week. So thank you, Pam, for what you sent. I wasn't able to tell him before. He was just gasping for air. So let's see. I guess that's all I've got here in the way of questions. And remember, folks, Larry's PayPal is nicholslive@aol.com. If you go to nicholslive.com, there's a direct link to his PayPal. There is his mailing address, which I put in the chat a little bit ago. There is my cell phone number, and I'm going to put that in here. I can't type on my computer, but I can do it through my phone. Oops. Instead of a Z, it's a hyphen. Sorry. It's supposed to be a hyphen. If you can't do cash in the mail, we can only do cash in the mail to Larry. So if you need to do a check, you need to contact me for my address to send it to me, and I will put it in and PayPal it to him. There are other ways to donate. If we can do Western Union, if it's a bigger amount, we can do Zelle now. You have to text me for that information. I guess that's it. Have a blessed Thanksgiving tomorrow. And thank you for being here. And we'll be back on Friday. And if anybody wants to have some time for prayer for Larry, for our president, for our country, time to give thanks for things that we are grateful for and express it together with one another, you can be on the conference call tonight at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. And that number is 712. It's in the description box right under here, but I'll type it in for you. It's 712-451-0725 and 0725, sorry. And then the access code is 492215 #. So if you want to join us for Thanksgiving to the Lord or prayers, yeah, thank God for Rosie and thank God for Carrie, because Larry wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Carrie being home. So I know I have been on the phone with Larry when he's passed out, and Rosie has. I'd be screaming at him, and it wouldn't, he wouldn't bring him back. But Rosie would lick him and get up on top of him, and that did it. So, God's not done with him. So we just keep praying that God's going to keep him around to finish this. Thank you, Mark, for your thanks. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. God bless you. And we will talk on Friday. And I invite you to the call tonight if you have time. And if you're with family, that's priority. So thanks a lot. God bless you. Bye. Who's calling?